as the phone folds this way, oh, I'm gonna break it one of these days. I want to fold it like this so bad. Look at this. This is gonna be your cover display, guys. It's gonna, oh my god, look at that. You're gonna be able to use it. I can't wait. And here's the thing. The conversation around the Pixel Fold has been whether it succeeds or not. Oh, it's not gonna succeed. It's too expensive. Yada yada. You know what? Once I have that dang thing in my hands, I trust Google that they will release enough software updates to make it rock solid, and then I will use it for a year and a half until the next challenger comes along. You know, in a year and a half, the Duo 3 will be out. Yeah, I'm going Duo 3 all the way. I'll throw my Pixel Fold away. All these things that people are like, well, you this, that. I'm just like, I don't care. I don't care if it succeeds. I don't care if your cousin cares. I don't care if your mom buys it. I don't care if your dad buys it. It doesn't matter. Once that thing's on sale and in my hands, I know Google, it's gonna make it at least solid. I don't care. I used the Duo 2 for a year. The Duo 2 is the king of quirks, right? So if this thing has a few quirks, hey, you know what? As long as I get my 2 screens where I can multitask back to back and it's a more modern OS, not to mention like day and day updates, you're talking about getting Android 15 on the same day as all the other Pixel phones, maybe a few weeks behind. Better than years, better than freaking months. You're talking about battery life. The Tensor chips actually has really good battery life. Like, I don't care if it doesn't perform amazing all day long. This thing, actually, I'm not gonna, the Z Fold 4 has pretty good battery life. I get about 5 or 6 hours of screen on time. I can sit here and watch a whole show. Like, I can watch Raw, WWE Raw, I'm in wrestling now, on this thing, and still have like 30-40% left over when I started watching at like 60 or 70. I'm gonna mention it again because it's the cover display. You can use it. Like right now at work, I carry an iPhone and this is my main device, but I'd prefer to use this, but then I just can't use it. It's so annoying to use. Like if I need to, like when I'm trying to scroll through my pictures and try to send a picture, and all of a sudden it's like you can see 2 pictures at a time. You know, it's just like, it feels like you're scrolling for days. You're not, obviously, but it feels that way. You get a worse experience every time you use the cover display. Now when you use the inner display, it's not so bad. But let's see how it's square. So apps side by side, see how they're tall and narrow? It's like having 2 cover displays. It's so bad. Now, the right way to use it is like this. Anyways, you see how, wouldn't it be great if it just folded this way? Guess what? The Pixel Fold is gonna fold that way. It's basically this, but it folds like this. You're gonna be able to, like, I wanna fold this down now, but obviously I'm not going to because I'm not gonna break it, but. So, I don't care if this thing succeeds or not. It doesn't matter. Honestly, it doesn't matter because I will own it and I will have it. And a lot of these things from the 12L update on the Fold that people love, like the taskbar, the dragging and dropping, all this, like everything that makes the Fold a super nice multitasking experience is gonna be there on the Pixel, because the 12L is what took a lot of these ideas from the Z Fold line and incorporated into Android itself. That's why this phone is so smooth now. It was smooth before, but now it's 3 times as smooth. That's why the Duo 2 got smooth after the 12L update, because all these things that were, all these hooks that the manufacturers had created to make their software work on top of Android, they could just remove it because Android did that stuff natively. I have no fear at all that the phone's gonna work as a large screen tablet device. No fear at all. I have no fear about software updates. I'm sure we're gonna get at least 3 years of software updates. We're gonna get security patches for at least 6 or 7 years, something like that. I think Google promises on all their devices. Like, not only that, if there are any like huge issues with the manufacturing process that causes some problems on the device, Google's such a large company that if they don't solve those issues, which they will, the thing why you shouldn't be worried about that, because if you have an issue with your device, I guarantee you Google will fix it. And if you care so much, buy the protection plan. Everywhere you buy these phones from, you can get the protection plan. Cameras, I don't really care. Cameras have been good for years now. If the difference in picture quality in today's phones, it's not that, like, I can open up a picture that I took on my iPhone 6s on my iPhone 13 and take out a picture that I took out on the iPhone 13, and it's like, yeah, maybe one of them will be better, but you're not gonna notice a difference. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. The one thing I will miss though, I still haven't seen nothing about them supporting the Google Pencil pen support. Even if they did support pen, any type of pen input, this is top notch for pen. I just don't see Google supporting all that. I've never used the Google device with pen support, so I can't say, but I guarantee you they're not up to par with what Samsung has done. The software on this is definitely more mature than what I know Google can do, but also I haven't used the Pixel phone since the 4. So I don't know how much has changed. It's only been 2 generations, but I'm sure a lot of these changes have come. I know they got their Google Lens, their night mode. Like, the point of the story is that, look, I'm not worried about the Pixel Fold. You can be worried if you want. If I think it's gonna be, like, I'm calling it right now. Like, since I broke my Surface Duo 2 and I had to get rid of it, I've been looking for that device. And in the United States, you don't have access to folding devices. This is your your only option. There's the Oppo Find N that kind of works in the US, but also it doesn't support all the bands, and you're restricted to T-Mobile because Verizon and AT&T won't work on it whatsoever. Also, Google Play services don't come pre-installed, so you have to install them yourself, which isn't that hard to do, but also it's just weird having a device that doesn't support everything. You know, as much as the Oppo Find N is the perfect dimension, I think that this Pixel Fold more or less apes it. They just take everything that was great about the Oppo Find N, puts it in a Pixel phone with stock Android, with Google backing it. It's just, I don't understand why anyone would care if this thing succeeds or not, because as soon as it's on sale, you can buy it. If it works for you and you love it, use it. Like, I don't understand why anybody would want, like, it's like, well, I have to use a Samsung Galaxy because everyone uses a Samsung Galaxy. It's like, even if I hate how the screen folds, even if I hate the cover display, even if the cameras aren't that great, it's like, I don't know, dude. Having a full, like, just the fact that the phone folds this way, it's worth my $17.99. And you know what? The truth is, if you're smart about it, nobody's gonna spend $17.99. They're gonna have trade-in promotions. I don't know if they'll be super aggressive, but, like, for example, if right now, if you trade this in for a Pixel 7 Pro, they'll give you $550, but that's because the 7 Pro is only $999, something like that. And they're not really pushing those promotions. But I can go on eBay and get $900 for this. So if I get $900 for this and just put the other $900 down, I got me a Pixel phone. Like, I don't. And if I don't have the money, or I don't want to spend that money, I gotta look. I'll give up my 13 Pro. I could get like $700 to $800 for this. I'll give up my iPad. I'll give up whatever it takes. I'm getting this freaking phone. I don't care. This thing looks perfect for me, and it's just ever since the Duo 2 was my favorite phone. I love the Duo 2, but it was just so quirky, and the software was so messed up. I knew I had to sell my Duo 2 after I cracked it, because I'm like, well, if I crack it more, it's gonna be worth less money. Right now, if I put it up, I'm seeing other Duo 2s sell for like $800, and they're cracked. So I'm like, I have to sell this now. And then while I was using it, I'm like, well, I don't want to sell this thing. I love this thing. I'm not gonna sell it. And then I had this for some health, how do you say, like, healthcare documents at work, like health insurance stuff. I was looking at a PDF on my Duo 2, and I had it open like this, spanned on both screens. And I was tapping on the thing to write my information down, and like the boxes, so I could tap the information so I could email it to the HR rep, and it wouldn't work. And then I would have to hit enter. The box would be at the top of the screen, and I drag the box with what I wrote on it down to the box where it was supposed to be. And then I was looking at it, be like, oh, this can't be right. Like, this shouldn't work this way. And then I moved it to one screen, the app, and then it worked like it should have. But then I only had one screen, so I'm like, what? Okay, there's something fishy going on here. And this was Microsoft 365 or Office apps, whatever it was called at the time. So I closed my Duo, I took out my Z Fold, and the Z Fold worked perfectly, right? Wherever I tapped, that's where the text input went into, right on the box. I didn't have to move anything. I just signed the form. It was perfect, right? The perfect experience, despite the weird frame. But so I kind of looked at it, I'm like, they're not gonna fix this device. They're not gonna fix this. This is it. Especially after the 12L update broke some stuff, and we got 3 months of just security patches, which were like 30, 40 MB patches. I'm like, they're not gonna fix this phone. It's been 2 years. The Duo 4 won't come out. The Duo 3 won't come out until 2024. I'm like, I gotta get rid of this thing. I sold it. I stuck with my Z Fold 4, and for the most part, I've been really happy with it. It's not a bad phone. I just hate this cover display. But the software in this thing is absolutely rock solid. Like, they have years and years of experience of working with a large screen device, a Note. So I get what, if Samsung made a folding phone that folded like this, yeah, that would be the best phone. But right now, the best thing we got is the Google Pixel. So the Pixel Fold, I'm all in. I'm gonna be getting it. I can't wait. I have the Total Tech with Best Buy, so I get the protection plan with them. So I have to kind of get it at Best Buy, but also I want to put in my pre-order the day they go live, so I can be sure to get one of these things, because I don't know. Look, everyone online, the conversation is, this thing's gonna fail, it's gonna suck. Nobody's happy about it. Devendra Hardwire from Engadget, I like him a lot, but I hate how cynical he is. He's like, no, folding phones suck. And I'm sitting here, and he's like, don't buy folding phones, especially first-gen products. I'm doing a better impression of him, but I still feel like there's some extra hype around this thing that I haven't felt in years. Like, this thing is coming, and it looks like it's gonna be the perfect screen. Like, when you watch a movie on, I know I was finishing up, but I'm not gonna finish up anymore. When you watch a movie on the 13 Pro Max, that's Cody Rhodes, by the way. Like, you don't get more real estate on this thing than you do on this thing. So people look at this and they're like, why would I watch this movie on this thing, right? You have to turn it this way to get the screen. So why doesn't it just fold that way? If this is the more visually like pleasing, visually stunning, visually like captivating way to fold a phone, why doesn't it just fold that way? Like, then by the way, I'm just gonna break it. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna fold it right now. I want that fold now. I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it.